Hi everyone, I hope all is well with you. Apologies if you hear the air conditioning blaring. It is literally 100 degrees and I'm not exaggerating, so this heat wave is no joke. So I need this air conditioning right now. But I wanted to come on. I know it's been a while since I've been on here, but I wanted to share with you all something that happened with me just a couple weeks ago, and hopefully it can encourage somebody and help to possibly get somebody on the right path. But I'll share what happened with you guys. So if you all do not know, I am sober. I do not drink. I don't smoke, none of that. And it's honestly been one of the best decisions of my life. I haven't always been that way. Growing up, and in high school, I never drank and didn't smoke. Things changed a bit when I got into college, as it does with a lot of people. And I, briefly dabbled in it here and there up until maybe about, 5 years ago. So I've been sober almost 5 years, and it's been great for me. Now, the reason that I've done it is for several reasons. And, when people ask me if I would like a drink or if I want to go out with them, I, usually break the news. Yeah, I don't really drink, but I'll go with you. Like, I'll go to the bar with you. We can eat. I can eat. So I don't really go into detail as to why I don't drink, but I'm going to share that with you guys just for the sake of the purpose of this video, which is to help others. So I do not drink because I have had some serious issues in my family with alcoholism. I have a couple family members who are currently still struggling with it, and well, more than a couple, I guess, that really struggle with drinking. And it changes them, it changes their personality, it affects the family dynamic, and I don't want to be that person. I don't want to have that kind of effect on my father, my mother, my cousins, my aunts. I don't want my habits to affect my personality to a point where it is negatively impacting others. So that's one reason. I've also lost a couple family members because of alcoholism. My uncle, he passed away a few years ago from cirrhosis of the liver. He was constantly drinking, would wake up, drink, and even after his diagnosis, he still continued to drink. And then my aunt, she also was drinking, but she was drinking hard liquor. And after she had had a surgery, she had gotten a hold of some pain medications, some really strong pain medications, and she was mixing those, which eventually led to her liver failing. And not really sure what the cause of her death was. I'm not sure if it was because of some kind of overdose or if it was because of liver failure, but either way, it was 100%, it was alcohol and drug related. So knowing that and knowing my family's history, it made me very reluctant to want to develop that habit myself. And to be quite frank, my family and myself included have pretty obsessive personalities. Like, we're very strong-willed. We are very, I don't want to say obsessive, but like, once we get stuck on something, we're set on it, whether it's a goal, whether it's a business. And then on the opposite end, it could be, like a song or like a particular show, or it could be just alcohol or drugs, and just stuck on it, addiction to the max. So knowing that, I stepped away from it. Also, just originally, like, why I didn't drink even growing up before all of these situations happened in my family, going through high school and everything. I just didn't drink mostly for religious reasons. And I put some verses on this paper to share with you guys. This is my journals. I sell these journals. I'll link that in the description, but this is what I use to write in all the time. I've got the Bible verses at the top of every single page. It's a different Bible verse, and then I just write and I journal my thoughts in here. So a couple of these are from Proverbs. So Proverbs 20 verse 1, wine is a mocker, strong drink a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise. Proverbs 21 verse 17 says, whoever loves pleasure will be a poor man. He who loves wine and oil will not be rich. All right, well, I would love to be rich. I would love to be wise. So I wouldn't partake in things that the Bible is saying, hey, here's the cheat code. Don't do these things, because if you want to be successful, this should not be a part of your behavior, right? And then 1 Peter 4 verses 3 and 4, for the time that is past suffices for doing what the Gentiles want to do, living in sensuality, passions, drunkenness, drinking parties, and lawlessness, idolatry. With respect to this, they are surprised when you do not join them in the same flood of debauchery, and they malign you. So, I wanted to share with you guys, and this is really, why I wanted to come on and share the whole story behind why I'm coming on here to share all of this. It was a situation that happened with me a couple weeks ago where I was invited to a bachelorette party. And if you're familiar with bachelorette party, right, it's where all the girls go out before the wedding, and it tends to be a wild weekend, a wild time, lots of crazy behavior involved. Of course, I wanted to celebrate my friend, so for me, I wanted to go. I wanted to have a good time with her because she's about to be married and she's going to be with her husband. This was her girls' trip that she wanted to have. So I wanted to celebrate that. However, I did know that I was the only one who does not drink, and that I kind of would be the odd one out for the weekend, which is fine with me. I am regularly used to kind of being the one who is not necessarily fitting in with the crowd. And I'll share some tips with you guys at the end as to some things that I do to kind of get out of that awkwardness of not drinking when everyone else is drinking. So we'll talk about that later. So what happened was we were out partying. Basically the first night we went to this lounge and everyone was drinking. I think I just got some food. And it was some chicken tenders and some fries, nothing crazy. And they were ordering some bottles and everything, and they don't split the tab whenever you go out with a large party. It was 11 of us, so it was all on one person's cards. That one person, they paid for it. Then the next day, it was really, really sweet. The bride's sister got us brunch, and so they came and they catered that. And then we went to make candles, which was fun. And then later on that night, we went to this really expensive restaurant. I got some salmon, some mashed potatoes, and again, everyone was drinking multiple cocktails. And then after that, we went to a club, a bar scene, and again, more bottles. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to the club, but the bottles are not going to the ABC store and getting a bottle, okay? It's one bottle is almost $500 plus, and that's on the low end. So it was a lot of money. And it was kind of one of those things where a couple of them were oh yeah, let's split it. And then a couple people were oh, well, Meredith, you know, she didn't drink, and another girl, like her sister, she didn't really drink because she has a newborn baby. So, but she wasn't even really around all that much. She wasn't even at most of the activities anyway, so she didn't even really count because she wasn't there, so we're not splitting with her, if that makes sense. But yeah, so then it was like the last day, we had all parted ways, and then they decide to split the bill. And they split the bills between everybody, right? So they didn't include the bride, they didn't include the sister of the bride, who, like I just mentioned, she wasn't really going to the activities anyway. So they split the sections, the dinners, all of that. They split it all between us equally. And I ended up paying close to $500, and I didn't even drink. Like, I kid you not. Like, I just got chicken tenders and fries, and then like salmon and mashed potatoes the next night. Like, I don't even get soda. I'm a water drinker. So, I was kind of like, all right. I still paid it anyway. And the reason being is because I'm not trying to cause any kind of problem. I, you know, wanted to just get it over with. I didn't want to argue. I had a good time that weekend. I was thankful because we didn't have to pay for the Airbnb. We didn't have to pay for the catering breakfast that morning, and I also didn't have to pay for like the candle activity. So I was like, look, $500 for a whole trip to go away, and then my plane ticket was not even that expensive. Like, if this is all I have to pay, like, I'm just gonna roll with it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just argue with them. Like, I don't mind covering whatever. It's not that big of a deal. So I went ahead, and I was one of the first people to pay it off, because I'm just like, let me just get this over with. And then my friend's sister texted me, and she said, hey, you know, I want to make sure like they took the alcohol off of your bill, because, you know, you shouldn't have to pay the same. So just let me know. And then I texted her back, you know, girl, I already paid it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Just thankful that you guys were taking care of us this weekend, and I had a really good time. So I'm not tripping about it, honestly. And, you know, I mean, I'm not here to go on here and vent about how I felt or how I didn't feel. I'm sure you guys could imagine how I felt, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to cause any kind of difficulty for anybody. I wanted at that point in time to be more of like a role model and to show others my character and what kind of person I am. And for me, staying on my path of being sober and doing what I feel like God has led me to do, I feel like that's what I need to focus on. And I'm here to win souls. I'm not here to save a few extra bucks. That's not what I'm on this earth to do, you know? So I just let it go, and it was crazy because like this snowballed. I made the payment. A few minutes later, I get a text from her sister. I text her sister back, and a few minutes after that, I get a random Cash App payment. And it was from this channel, and I don't really post on here all that much. So occasionally I will get somebody who will donate to support me, which I'm incredibly thankful for. Like, it means so much to me, and I truly am thankful that people are moved by the videos enough to want to make a contribution and to bless me. That meant a lot. And in the tagline it said blessings. But for me to get that random payment, and it was a bigger payment too, like honestly it might be I think it's actually the biggest payment I've gotten from the channel. And I looked like so many times, I'm like, is this someone I know? Like, is this her sister? And it wasn't her sister. So someone had just randomly sent me that money and blessings. And I knew that it came from this channel. So if you're that person, I want to say thank you, first of all. And second of all, I had to come on here and share this with you all. Because when you are on the right path, when you're doing the right thing, God will confirm that for you, okay? And it's not always easy. Like, honestly, that weekend was kind of hard for me, right? Because I'm the only person who doesn't drink. Everyone's having a really good time. I ended up taking care of them, basically, because they were really having a really good time. And, you know, I still had a fun time. I still had fun. But it was like God was winking at me and just being like, I've got you. I'm proud of you. Stay on that right path because you're doing the right thing. Don't let peer pressure, don't let, not to say they were pressuring me because they weren't at all. They were very respectful of my decision. So I'll say that. But like, don't let any influence or what other people are doing affect what you were doing. And especially on your path with God, like, you know, the wide path leads to destruction, right? And the narrow path is the way to heaven. And, you know, sometimes it's like you feel like you're on that path alone, and it can be challenging at times, but I promise you, if you choose that path, God is going to take care of you. He's going to look out for you in ways that you can't even predict, you can't even imagine, you can't even like fathom in your mind. It still blows my mind. This is why I love having this channel, because I can come on here and share with you guys like weird miracles, because God just has these miracles, and you are like, there's no way this wasn't God. There's no other way this could have happened if it weren't for God. And He's so good. The Lord is good. The Lord is a blessing, and He is generous. He is a loving God, and He cares about you. So if anyone is considering maybe getting into a path of being sober, I hope that this video encourages you. If you have any questions about it, you know, let me know. If you're struggling, put it in the comments. Like, we're here to support you. This is a channel where we don't judge each other. We want to help each other. And it's not always easy. I'm not perfect. And I don't think anyone on this earth is, right? No one but Jesus. No one but Jesus. So I wanted to finish off this video by sharing some tips with you guys on some things that I do to kind of make myself feel comfortable in those situations where I might be the only one drinking. So number one, you have to acknowledge the fact that this will be maybe awkward. It might be uncomfortable. And so you've got to be prepared to walk in and face that situation, because if you're not prepared to feel awkward or uncomfortable, the slightest feeling of agitation or, you know, I feel like weird, it might cause you to lead into some choices that you did not intend to make, right? It might kind of cause you to fall and stumble. And especially if you're kind of like leaning into this lifestyle more now, and if you're around people who are used to you drinking, that might be kind of like an awkward conversation. But just walk in knowing that, hey, this might be a little weird, and I'm prepared for weird. I'm prepared for awkward. Number two, don't feel like you have to over-explain yourself. Don't feel like you have to explain why you don't drink. You can just tell people, I don't drink. And, you know, a lot of people will ask you why, and you can share with them what you feel comfortable with them sharing at that moment. You know, for me, I don't always feel comfortable saying, well, my whole family is, not my whole family, but I don't necessarily feel comfortable sharing my my story about my family life, and that I've had family members that pass away, because I feel like that kind of sounds like, if you drink, you're gonna die. And I don't want people to like get that impression from me. So I just steer away from that. And, you know, not everybody is super religious. So if you say religious reasons, you know, and a lot of times people kind of will go back and forth with you, well, Jesus drank wine. Yeah, He did. But, you know, this is the choice I've made, and based off of the Bible verses I read, this is kind of what fits me better. It's kind of more my personal decision, based off of what Scripture says, right? And you could just say you don't like the taste. I mean, whatever it is, like, you know, just, you don't have to explain yourself. But if you do want to explain yourself, just go ahead and kind of have an idea of what you want to say. And then, you know, third is there are like a lot of non-alcoholic options now. Like, for example, actually, I went to a really nice dinner tonight, and they had this drink on the menu. It was a strawberry grapefruit spritz, and it was like soda and grapefruit juice, strawberry juice, and lime, and it kind of looked like a cocktail, and it had like a really nice flavor to it, and it was kind of just like a fun little different kind of drink, and I enjoyed it. So like, you can still kind of drink fun drinks without them necessarily having to have alcohol in it, and that's becoming more and more popular, I've noticed, because I've been not drinking for a long time, and over the past couple years they really have come out with a lot of non-alcoholic options, non-alcoholic wines, non-alcoholic cocktails. So just kind of be on the lookout for that. If it's something where you kind of want to wean yourself off of maybe drinking regular cocktails, you can maybe sip on something and kind of get like that little fix without necessarily having to be intoxicated or even have any kind of alcohol in your drink. And then lastly, just be confident in yourself. Be confident, know who you are. You know, not everybody's judging you because you don't drink, and if they are, who cares, right? This is a decision you're making for you. At the end of the night, when you lay your head down on your pillow, you are the one that you have to answer to, and you also are held accountable to God. So whatever promises you make to yourself and whatever promises you make to God, those are what you need to really hang tight to and hold on to, because at the end of the day, your friends are not going to be the one, you know, taking care of your body when you're 90 years old, right? You're the one taking care of yourself when you're 90. And you're the one who has to live in your body. So if you want to take care of your body, if you want to, you know, do a certain thing for the sake of your family, then do that. Make that personal choice, and don't let anybody sway your opinion once you have made your opinion, okay? And always stay strong in your beliefs, stay strong in the path that God has for you, and pray. Yeah, and before you go into these situations, pray, ask God for strength, ask God for the words to say, and pray for guidance, and He will give it to you. 100%, He will give it to you. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching this channel. I hope you got something out of this, and I'll see you guys next time.